Hey, hi Suresh.
Hi.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, Suresh, so I was just going through your profile. Can you just brief me about yourself?
Uh, Hi. Good evening. My name is Suresh Raju. I have all overall experience this year of method point years. Past 3 years, I have worked with said method. Well, coming to my skill set, I am good experience build and release hands-on experience script day to day. Have hands-on Docker and of application project, and also different softwares or management hands of the given requirement of the deployment in infrastructure AWS platform. Have good knowledge about Prometheus Grafana monitoring. Well, coming to the for the data, the CI process, how many pipelines are created. That is the projects run particular. That is the day to day. Every side system side every activity bugging and all that problems. Also after the deployment of those verified the logs and different applications, what happens the working application. So, that is the end user are not accessing the UAT test. That is the and these things are happening the day to day activity and the monitoring. Yeah.
So, how would you rate yourself in skill set of Python out of 5?
Uh, 3,
Okay. For Kubernetes and Docker,
4,
CI/CD stuffs,
also 4, 4.5 years.
Jenkins,
4.5,
AWS,
4.
and finally on SQL.
I'm not doing that way. Basic idea about that.
Okay. So, should I consider 2 for that?
Sorry.
Should I consider rating 2 for that
Yeah,
out of 5?
yeah.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, so tell me about your current project. What exactly you're doing over there?
The microservices project. It is the mentioning you are looking for the uh, job. The resume for that. First project is client is just client. American shopping portal right now. This the project is microservices project. You're running of the multi-branch pipeline and doing the very way to end-to-end project is doing different it is the automation way to improve. Once you can developers develop a code in repository, you take the code and pick up in the CA server to build a action for that. You can build it and test it, and the artifact is generated for that way implementation of those stuff. And after that artifact is stored in the particular binary repository, and artifact is created to that in the microservice background of Docker application. In its format that Docker file is running that way. It is JS and Java application projects of code is running that particular Docker file to run the container The container is pushing to that private repository, the Docker Hub. That container is deploying to that particular namespace of the Kubernetes. That is the running of the different namespace there. It is various of the micro architecture in the cloud. The access to that particular application is that the end users in the network format, the way to total infrastructure. After the end of this project, you can monitorization of the Prometheus Grafana for entire stuff, the cluster information about what happens to the application, what required information that way project, the roles and
Okay. So can you tell me what is the method for creating a Docker container?
it is the Docker container is used for the Docker file, the creating of the customized image, the customized image to run it. First of all, you can write the Docker file to to requirement of a particular code, the requirement of particular application, a particular branch of line. First of all, you can write the some port numbers, open that particular application, the code is running or not, which base of OS is running. First, you can write the um, Docker file and push it the repository. After that, can run the Docker, build the Docker file to create the image. After that, to create the image, push to that particular repository, the private repository, Docker Hub, and ECR I am using. Okay. That image is running to create the container, is running to that particular namespace. That is the process to create the container.
Okay. Can you tell me architectural components of Kubernetes?
It is the basically your question is the components of Kubernetes, master and nodes concept. Is that right?
Right.
Here
Yeah.
the components is basically the master consists of API server. That is the API server is the main brain of that. It is the Kubernetes master, and scheduler in kube scheduler and kube controller and etcd, the master components. And you can connect it to the nodes to help check of the cube kubelet, kube proxy, and the base of that Docker engine is the stuff in Docker Kubernetes components.
What are pods?
Pod is nothing but a small is the instance or vimish, is something empirical of the Kubernetes,
Okay.
the platform of running of the whole containers in pod.
Okay. So are you comfortable to go with the programming assessment in Python?
Yeah,
Okay. So you probably might able to see one code editor in front of you, right?
yeah.
Okay. So the requirement is we are having list of integers. We need to write a function which is going to accept that list as an argument.
Mm-hmm.
And within the function body, you have to multiply each list element by 2, and you have to return the modified list from that function. So do you want me to repeat the requirement?
Yeah, it is the actually I am the shell script, bash script. It is the knowledge for that for pipeline also, the logic for coding, way to implement it, logic
Okay.
pipeline.
Let it be. Then we can go ahead with the shell scripting.
Yeah.
Is it fine? Okay. So you have to write a shell script that is demo.sh. Okay. Which is going to accept two arguments. demo.sh space 10 space 20.
Okay.
So within that demo.sh, what you have to do, you have to perform addition of these two arguments, and you have to retrieve the sum of these two.
Okay. It is basically for two numbers we added to that way per question.
Right. So the demo.sh is going to accept two arguments. Okay. 10 space 20, and you have to perform addition of these two arguments and print the sum.
Okay.
Let me change it to shell.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. In bash. uh, hello.
Yes.
The process to touch the print argument, particular print combination of 10 and 20. You can add the combination of and also escape argument number 20. The process of 10 and 20.
Okay. So what is the significance of dollar question mark in shell scripting?
The dollar question mark. Um, the the command is to in the before command.
Can you elaborate more clearly on this?
The process to dollar question mark before command is working or not.
And what is dollar hash?
Dollar hash is the argument supplied to the script. The number of arguments supplied to the script.
Okay. What is full form of grep?
Script is the particular folder or the file, the directory. That is the particular you can search the letter or the command. That is the particular letter or the command you can display it with.
What is full form of it?
Uh, grip, grip command.
Yeah, what is full form of grep? That's why I'm saying.
Grip command. Full form of grip command.
Full form of grep.
Okay. Grip, uh,
Okay.
grip command is the process to elaborate a particular file of the you can choose an a choice of the particular file to it is the display of the console.
Okay. So let's say we are having one shell script whose name is demo.sh.
Okay.
We need to add execute permission, okay, for the users and group. So how we can do it using chmod command?
Yes, users and groups are permission to the chmod command is doing for the group permission, modification of the group permission, the read write permission.
So can you tell me the chmod command for adding execute permission for users and group for demo.sh file?
Yes, yes. It is the property for the users and groups for the it is the execution permission in user add hyphen c. You can permission. This is the developer. This is the inverted commas to the name. User add that particular group. The command user mod is for any account. The way to how to wheel group to add the user mod command. The way to
Okay. Can you tell me how we can deploy our application using Jenkins?
yeah. It is the basically the CI/CD process. The CI process is entirely different in the pushing of the application end of the part. After CD is it's for the deployment of the implementation of the Kubernetes cluster Jenkins server. That is the way to implement it. That is
Okay.
the deployment is you can use the which namespace to integrate the Jenkins server pipeline.
Okay. So when considering the usage of Git, can you tell me What is difference between git rebase and git merge?
Git merge is basically um, pro- Git merge is basically the specific branch history into the current branch. It is merged to the specific branch is the current branch. The rebase command is will move all the work from the current branch to the master rebase.
Okay. So by considering the usage of git, can you tell me which action comes first, git push or git commit?
Git commit.
Okay. So let's say I want to give my custom messages for a particular commit. So how we can do it?
The custom messages, the whole messages come to the one command process. You are asking for the question.
No, the thing is that I'm committing my code, but I have to specify my remark on that code. What
Okay.
changes exactly I have done over there. So how you can specify that using messages?
It is the basically once you can add any file is editing that way, but you can change the message that message to how to the file is how many times are editing at that particular person the credentials can apply to the particular
Okay.
yeah.
So just a minute, I'm checking. Have you used Boto 3 library?
I am using an Terraform, the Python based of automation. Python
Right.
commands getting the
So can you tell me a command to undo the commit?
undo the commit
Yes.
is the git commit hyphen and hyphen am
Okay. So let's say we are having one SQL table employee. Okay. The columns of that employee table are ID, name, department, salary, and age. So can you write a simple SQL query to select only those employees whose age is greater than 30 and less than 40?
not working in that database service, but I am idea about that. It is array to basically programmatic array to display the particular of the name. Not working there.
Okay.
Your question
So
is
which
basically
services?
yeah. Your question is basically array format of my idea about is the display of every database take to that array format of the names, the implementation in the particular searching name. The details about that. Presently, I am not that
Okay.
details about that.
How many execution environment you are managing?
It is basically Ansible for applications, what version modify, what version Linux. It is the yeah.
So okay, which services you said you have used from AWS?
It is easy to uh, the instance based of node servers are using Kubernetes. S3 bucket is used for the load balancer, auto scaling, different
Can
RDS.
you tell me what do you mean by orchestration? What do you mean by orchestration?
Orchestration. It is the orchestration
Yes.
is basically orchestration, a, the maintenance of the platform to increase the auto scale up and scale down, and the auto healing, and the different processes are the secure way to implement of the cluster side, the orchestration. It is
What is the
basically
maximum size of S3 bucket?
the maximum size is 5 gigabyte UI. It is basically of the bucket in size of 0 to 5 GB
How
is given that
much? How much you said? What's the size?
5 gigabyte.
5 terabytes.
Yeah, yeah,
5 TB in short.
yeah. 5 TB.
Okay. So can you tell me what are the benefits of enabling versioning on S3 bucket?
It is the versioning purpose to S3 bucket is you can lost the image, you can delete the image. Of course, you can forget the in what is the object. The object means any file in the S3 bucket. That is the can delete the object. You can recover the object. You can recover the object means the tick is one remark is removed, that you can recover the object in the S3 bucket. One is one benefit. Second benefit is the versioning of the same object. That is the second benefit of the S3 bucket.
Okay. So can you tell me what is the significance of AWS configure command?
The configure command is basically used for AWS CLI. The AWS CLI is the IAM users to access key and secret key credentials to store the AWS CLI. That is the configure.
So which are the four parameters we generally pass for that command after executing it?
Basically,
Okay. So can we specify an IAM role
yeah,
for a user on S3 bucket where the expectations are user should able to read the content only. He's not supposed to write and overwrite it.
yeah.
So how we can do that?
It is basically the permission happen in policies. What is the S3 bucket is the fully access. What happens to in a particular person IAM, that is the access to that roles and policies.
Okay. For optimizing EC2 instances billing, generally which are the standard procedures which need to be considered?
It is basically building is not a region specific. It is not a region specific building purpose. It is only for North Virginia for the dashboard in the building purpose. That is used to be consider of the client side requirement to the spot in instance. You can on demand instance what purpose. No, is the best question for the client. It is the client is asking for that on demand instances. The first process I am telling that way. In AWS you can follow on demand instances in hours and minutes. That shopping is huge. Shopping is activity hours and minutes on demand. The implementation of that way to in this arc answer is.
Okay, fine, Suresh. So I have done with my end. Do you have any questions for me?
My question is what is the roles and responsibilities? this, what are the what is the project you can run this, or asking for.
Yeah, the thing is that we are working on AWS, okay, to handle a couple of CI/CD automation related things, where we are expecting the candidate should have a knowledge of Kubernetes, Terraforms, CI/CD, Jenkins, and Docker. In spite of that, we are looking for a candidate who is able to write our Lambda functions, okay, so
Yeah,
that
basically Lambda is ready-made to code to build the infrastructure.
right. So we are looking to contribute in that way also. Okay.
I
So
will do it.
the basic knowledge of SQL things, which will be useful for automating the things based on configuration.
Sorry. It is the SQL means the database. So it's ready-made RDS, MongoDB. It is the Dynamic DB.
It's RDS.
Yes. That is the, it is the, you can see that third projects also in the entire three structures project is, that is the RDS used for the my man.
Yeah. So
That
that kind of
yeah.
role we are considering, so that configuration based automation has to be happen,
Yes. They're
and
automating it
those
separately. Yeah.
configurations are getting loaded from RDS itself. Yeah, so that's why we are looking for SQL skill set.
Will implementation of will is ready-made to implement it. I'm not a end-to-end scratch to build, not a scratch to build, but automatically build in ready-made to the Kubernetes AWS cluster, AWS whole stack. It is the database services, database. Basically,
Yeah,
regional failures and availability zones failures, whatever it is, the stack is lose data for client side requirement.
just
Yes,
kind of.
yeah.
So anything else you want to know?
Um, can push. I can uh, feedback to the HR. Waiting for.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Please
Thanks for your time.
thanks for the time and valuable time for the interview. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day
Thank you.
too.